Yeah, hello, my lovely fans. It is another beautiful day as I welcome you to Menalights TV. So this time around, we are starting a new topic that is transformation. So under this transformation, we have 4 sub topics that we are going to look at. So the first one is reflection. After reflection, we look at rotation, translation by a given vector, and then enlargement by a scale factor. Now, reflection, rotation, and translation by a given vector, we call them rigid motions. The reason why they are called rigid motion is because the size and the shape of the object will not change no matter what you do to them. So let's begin with reflection. So the first one we have is reflection on x-axis, or reflection on x-axis is the same as reflection on the line y is equal to 0. So when you have the point x, y, and you reflect this on x-axis, when you reflect this on the x-axis, then x is positive and then the y is negative. When you reflect on x-axis, the x is positive and then the y is what? Is negative. That is the reflection on x-axis. Now let's look for example, we have the point 2, 3. When you reflect this on x-axis, it means you are going to have our A1, which is the image. So this image, since you are reflecting on x-axis, the coordinates of the y-axis will be what? Negative, or will be negated. So because of that, you are going to have positive 2, negative 3, because the value or the coordinates of the y-axis is what? Is negative. That is when you reflect on the line y is equal to 0, or reflection on x-axis. So we have our second type of reflection, that is reflection on y-axis, which is reflection on the line x is equal to 0. So when you are reflecting on the line x is equal to 0, it's the same as reflecting on y-axis. So when you have the point A, 2, 3, and you reflect it on the line x is equal to 0, or you reflect it on y-axis, the x coordinate will be negative and that of y will be what? Will be positive. So now let's look at this example. Reflect A, negative 3, negative 5, then 1 on x-axis. Then after that, you are reflecting on y-axis as well. So when you are reflecting on x-axis, the y is what? Negative. The coordinate of the y-axis is negative. And already this number is what? Negated. So because of that, it becomes what? Positive. So our A image will now be negative 3, positive 5. Negative 3, positive 5. Because already the number is what? Negative. And then you have to introduce another negative, then it becomes what? Positive. So we have negative 3, positive 5. Now when you are reflecting the same point A, negative 3, negative 5 on y-axis, the x-axis, the coordinate of the x-axis is what? Is negative. So because of that, when we have our A image 2, which is negative 3, negative 5, the first one has to be what? Negated. That is because we are reflecting on y-axis. So because of that, since the number is already negative, negative will give us a positive. So this one becomes what? Positive 3, negative 5. Now we now look at a past question and then use it to draw a graph. So we have a past question here. We are going to use this past question to draw a graph. So before we draw the graph, we have the point A 2, 5, B 2, 2, C 4, 2. Now we are going to reflect this same point on x-axis and then the y-axis. Now reflection on x-axis is the same as the line y is equal to 0, and there the coordinates of the y-axis is what? Negated, or is what? To be what? Negative. So when you have the first one 2, 5, it becomes 2, negative 5, because the 5 belongs to what? To the y-axis. So because of that, it's what? Negated. Now when you come to the second one, this is our B1, 2, 2. The first one is, you repeat it the same way. The second way, we are going to introduce the negative, and it becomes of negative 2. Now when you come to C, the point C, you have our C1, which is the same as 4, negative 2. Because when you look at this, the coordinates of the y-axis are all what? Negated. Now let's come to reflection on the line y. On the line x is equal to 0, or reflection on y-axis. So reflecting on y-axis, when we have 2, 5, this our image 2 or A2 is going to be here. The coordinates of the x-axis will be what? Negative. So all these ones will be what? Negated. So it becomes negative 2, positive 5. Then we come to B, our B2, which is 2, becomes negative 2, 2. Then we come to C, which is 4, 2, will now be our C2, which is minus 4, 2. Now when we look at the coordinates of the x-axis, they are all negated because the x is equal to 0. So when you are reflecting on the line x is equal to 0, the coordinates of the x-axis will be what? Will be negated. And that of the y-axis will be what? Positive. So I have my number plane here. From the top to the down, that is the y-axis. Then from the left to the right, that is my x-axis. So when you look at this number plane, this particular part, the x is positive and then the y is what? Also positive. So when we come to the second quadrant, or this place too, the x is positive and then the y is what? Negative. Now when you come to this side, this one, the x is negative and then the y is also what? Negative. And now when you go to the last quadrant, the x is negative and then the y is what? Is positive. Now, when you are giving numbers to plot, the first number belongs to what? To the x-axis, and the second number belongs to what? To the y-axis. Now we are going to use this point to what? To draw our graph. So when you look at it, it's only A, B, C. That means what? It's a triangle. So we are going to draw our triangle on this. Then after that, we are going to reflect it on x-axis as well as reflecting it on y-axis. Now the first one A is 2, 5. So the 2 is for x-axis and then the 5 is for y-axis. So 2 here, 5, the 2 are meeting here. So that is my A, 2, 5, that's where they are meeting. Then we have our B, 2, 2. So this is 2 and 2. So B here is 2, 2. Then C is 4, 2. So this is where I have my 4, 2 is here. So that's my C, 4, 2. So let's join the point to form a triangle. So this is the triangle that is formed from the object. So the first one here is the object. Now if you have the object here, the line that is closer to the object at our right hand, at our left hand is what? Is the y-axis. So this is the reflection on y-axis. So when we are asked to reflect on y-axis, it means the object, the image will be formed here. So this object will be reflected here, and then we have our image here. Now the x-axis closer to the object is this one. So when you reflect on the x-axis here, you realize that the object will be what? Will be formed here. And here the y is negative and then the x is what? Is positive. So we are going to do it and then see how it goes. So we are going to reflect this object on x-axis. So this is the x-axis that is closer to the object. So here when you look at it, the x-axis, the coordinates here are positive and that of the y-axis they are what? Negative. So when we have 2, 5, and when you are reflecting it here, the 2, 5 here is here. But when you look at this, here, the y is negative and then the x is what? Positive. The same as we have here, 2, negative 5. So this is my A, 1, 2, negative 5. Then the second one, B, which is 2, 2. So 2, this is where you have it. So it's now 2, negative 2. So my B1, 2, negative 2. So I have it here as well. Then I have my C, which is 4, 2. 4, 2, now we have 4, negative 2. So we have it here as well. So my C, 1, 4, negative 2. So we join to form the triangle as well. Now, so when you are reflecting, the image distance and then the object distance are all the same. So when you look at it from here, 1, 2, from here to 1, 2. So when you look at this, suppose you place a mirror here, this is how it will form. The face that is showing here, that's what will show first in the mirror. So we have it here as well. So when you look at it, this is what the reflection of what we have here. So we now go to the second one, reflection on y-axis where x is equal to 0. So it's the same as a reflection on the line x is equal to 0. So when you are reflecting here, this is the y-axis that is closer to the object that we have. Mind you, this is the image. So this is our first image. Still, we have the object there. So we are going to reflect the same object on y-axis. So when you come to the y-axis here, the x is negative and then the y is what? Positive. So the first one, 2, 5. So the same way here, the x is what? Negative. So negative 2, 5. So that's my A2. Negative 2, 5. We have the second one, negative 2, 2. So negative 2, 2 is here as well. So that's my B2. Negative 2, 2. Then I come to my C2. We have 4, 2 there becomes what? Negative 4, 2. So I have it here, my C2, negative 4, 2. So let's join to the point to form a triangle. So we have our second image here, which is the reflection on the line x is equal to 0 or reflection on y-axis. So as you can see, we have them here. So this is my object, my first image, and this is my second image as well. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Remember to subscribe to this channel, Menalights TV, for more updates. So in our second video, or in the coming video, we look at rotation. So stay tuned as we learn it together. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, kindly subscribe to this channel for more updates. Menalights TV, when the sun rises. Thank you.